Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reviewing Fable by Adrienne Young. So Fable is the story of a 17-year-old girl. The book starts off with her on this island called Javal, where her father has abandoned her the night after this big shipwreck that has killed most of the people that she knows, including her mother. So he abandons her on this island, basically to tell her, toughen up, and if you can get off this island and get to me, then I'll give you your inheritance. So that's kind of where we start out. Fable's introduced as this really sassy, very strong, kind of empowered female badass character, which I really love. One of my most hated tropes in fantasy is that really timid, oh, woe is me, damsel in distress type of character. I just don't. Give me a badass, empowered female character any day over that. So from there, we learn that Fable is a dredger. And this is one of the kind of cooler aspects of the book to me. I think Adrienne Young's world building is really strong. It's definitely one of the strengths of this book overall for me, is this really kind of piratey, seafaring, really interesting world that I haven't seen a lot of in YA thus far. There's not really any actual pirates in it, but most of the book takes place on ships, and the whole society of the setting of the book is very sea-centric. So, dredgers. Dredgers is this concept of these divers that dive down into the ocean and they mine or, get these gemstones that are along the ocean floor, and then they sell those for money. So Fable is a dredger. She learned dredging from her mother, and I just thought that was a really neat, really unique concept that she did. So basically she eventually then, after, dredging enough gemstones and getting up enough money, she knows this trader named West who she's been selling her gemstones to for all of these years that she's been on this island. And she eventually buys passage, and that's kind of the start of this whole journey throughout the book to get to her father. So overall, I'd say that the plot is a pretty simple one. It's very much like a journey from point A to point B, and there's some obstacles and challenges along the way, but none of it is very twisty or surprising. I think most of the small twists along the course of the book were pretty predictable for me for the most part. None of them were super surprising or things that I couldn't see coming at all. The thing that really made the book really good for me was that world that she created. I just think it was so interesting. There's no outright magic in Fable. There is some kind of hinted at gem magic that Fable possesses, and her mother also possesses, but it's not really what I would call outright magic. It's just kind of a subtle, innate ability that they both possess. So West as a character. West was alright. Broody and mysterious-ish, and I would have liked to see him developed a little more. I think the whole concept of him being mysterious and this character that we didn't know very much kind of ended up hurting his character in the long run. It was less of a slow reveal than just a no reveal. I felt like I never really got to know him and got invested in him. And for me, in a romance, the mark of a really great love story for me is that I'm in love with the love interest along with the main character or the protagonist. If I don't care about the love interest or feel invested in their relationship, or I felt invested in Fable, but I didn't really love West with her. Does that make sense? So it just felt tepid for me. It wasn't bad. I didn't dislike him. I didn't dislike their relationship together, but I wasn't really rooting for it at the same time. The thing that probably stood out to me the most, besides the world in this book, was definitely Young's writing. So she really has this ability to weave a story. From this haunting ghost of her mother that Fable talks about, to the way that she makes you feel along the depths of the ocean floor. She just really can craft a story really well. And that was very impressive to me throughout the book. And I think that definitely made this book go from probably a book that I was meh on to one that I would recommend, and one that made me want to read the sequel. Because no matter how I felt about West and the relationship and a kind of so-so plot line, her writing style definitely makes it worth reading. It does have a sequel. I think it's set to come out in either March or April of 2021. The sequel is going to be called Namesake, I believe. And I definitely will be getting it. I think I'm interested enough to find out what happens. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, which is decent for me. If you enjoyed this review, like, comment, and subscribe. And I just finished Serpent and Dove, so that will be what I will be reviewing next. I try and upload on Tuesdays. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tara, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.